The worst part about working at Holloway and Finch Publishing wasn't the tight deadlines or the cold brew that always ran out by 9 a.m. For Sloane Bennett, it was Lauren Hayes. Not because Lauren was difficult. If anything, she was too good at her job. Too confident, too charming, too easy to like. Lauren had been promoted to editorial director 6 months ago, and Sloane had been spiraling ever since. Lauren made everything look effortless. She had a sharp laugh, a habit of rolling up her sleeves in a way that was borderline criminal, and a reputation for making authors cry in one email. But they always came back. She was intense, intimidating, and absolutely beautiful. Sloane, a quiet line editor with a fondness for flannel and avoiding eye contact, didn't stand a chance. "You're staring," Raina, her best friend and fellow editor, said over the cubicle wall. "I'm proofreading a query letter," Sloane mumbled. "Sure, a query letter that happens to be standing by the copier in a tailored blazer." Sloane didn't look up. "She doesn't know, and she never will." Raina snorted. Famous last words. That night, their team ended up at the Wreck, a nautical-themed bar nearby where half the staff went to unwind and pretend deadlines didn't exist. Sloane didn't usually drink, but Raina shoved a glass into her hand with a wicked grin. "You're spiraling. Drink something that isn't coffee." One cocktail turned into two, and suddenly the lights were prettier, the music louder, and the tension in Sloane's chest was gone. Until Lauren walked in. Black jeans, leather jacket, dark lipstick. Sloane's mouth went dry. "I need to go," she whispered to Raina. "You're staying," Raina hissed. "Just don't say anything stupid." Sloane took a deep breath, nodded, failed completely, because Lauren spotted them, smiled, and slid into their booth like she belonged there, which, of course, she did. "Evening," Lauren said, eyes flicking to Sloane. "You're quiet tonight." "I'm always quiet," Sloane replied too quickly. Lauren's smile tilted. "Not always. You get passionate about weird things." "Weird how?" "Last week you nearly bit my head off over dashes." "I stand by that," Sloane said, and then, unprompted, unfiltered, "Also, you're beautiful." Raina inhaled sharply. Lauren blinked. Sloane froze. "Oh my God." Lauren didn't laugh. She didn't smirk. She just looked at her, gaze calm and unreadable. "Thank you," she said finally, quiet but clear. Sloane slapped her hand over her mouth. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean... I mean, I did, but not like that." "Like what?" "Like, drunk honesty. It doesn't count." "Maybe it counts more," Lauren said, standing. "I'm going to get some air. If you're still here when I come back, maybe you can tell me what else you think." Then she was gone, leaving Sloane speechless, heart-pounding, wondering if she'd just ruined everything, or started something she couldn't stop. Sloane didn't remember how she got home that night. She remembered the look Lauren gave her before stepping out into the cool evening air, the way her voice had dropped, low, gentle, the way her heels echoed against the concrete like punctuation marks after Sloane's reckless runaway sentence. "I'm going to get some air if you're still here." But she hadn't stayed. Of course she hadn't. Instead, she'd spiraled down the fire escape of embarrassment and right into an Uber where Raina held her hair back while she half cried, half laughed into the night air. "I told her she was beautiful," Sloane groaned. "You did," Raina agreed, too pleased. "I need to move to another state or change my name, maybe both." "I'm proud of you," Raina said, rubbing her back. "You said the thing, even if whiskey said it first." Sloane had woken the next morning to a pounding headache, an inbox full of unread manuscripts, and the vague, haunting suspicion that she'd detonated her career. By Monday, she'd entered full stealth mode, oversized hoodie, hair in a messy bun, sunglasses indoors. Lauren, mercifully, said nothing. No scathing comments, no awkward, We should talk. Not even a weird glance across the conference table. It was business as usual, which somehow felt worse. Raina caught her in the kitchen mid-afternoon, pouring her 5th coffee of the day. "Dead woman walking," she whispered. Sloane glared. "I hate you." "She hasn't called HR. That's a win." "She hasn't called me either." "She's your boss, not your girlfriend." "Exactly," Sloane muttered. "She's probably disgusted." Raina's grin turned sly. "Then why did she forward you a client pitch with a smiley face in the subject line?" Sloane blinked. "She didn't." "She did." Sure enough, 20 minutes later, Sloane's inbox lit up. Subject: client pitch. Mood board direction. From Lauren Hayes to Sloane Bennett. Meet me in conference room 2B at 3. Let's make some magic. No further explanation. No emojis in the body. Just that one rogue smile in the subject line. Sloane stared at the screen like it might bite her. At 2:57, she was pacing the hallway with her laptop clutched like a shield. At 3 o'clock sharp, she walked into conference room 2B. Lauren was already there, seated casually at the end of the table, coffee in hand, one leg crossed over the other. "You came?" Lauren said without looking up. Yeah." The email said, "I meant Friday night," Lauren cut in. Sloane froze. Lauren set her coffee down, stood, and walked to the whiteboard like it was just another Tuesday. "What you said," she continued, picking up a dry erase marker. "Did you mean it?" Sloane's lungs forgot how to be lungs. I was drunk." "But did you mean it?" There was a beat of silence so loud it felt like thunder. Sloane swallowed hard. "Yes?" Lauren's smile curved at the edges. "Good. Good? Because I haven't stopped thinking about it." Sloane's mouth fell open. "You... really?" "I think about you more than I should," Lauren said, "which is inconvenient. And possibly against several policies." She stepped closer. Just close enough that Sloane could smell her perfume. Something soft and warm and expensive. "I don't know what this is," Lauren said, "but I know I'm not imagining it." Sloane's heart beat so loud she wondered if it showed on her shirt. "I'm not casual," she whispered. "Neither am I." Then Lauren stepped back, professional again, and gestured toward the screen. "So, mood boards?" Sloane blinked. Sure. Yes, mood boards." She didn't remember a single thing they said after that. Later, she sat in her apartment with her hands pressed to her cheeks, heart still racing. She thought about Lauren's voice, her eyes, the impossible calm she wore even while dropping emotional bombs mid-meeting. Her phone buzzed. "Lauren Hayes. You really think I'm beautiful?" Sloane stared at it, breath catching. Then she typed, "Sloane Bennett. I think you're the most terrifyingly beautiful person I've ever been afraid to want." There was a pause, a long one, then 3 dots, then none, then 3 again. Finally, "Lauren Hayes. That's the hottest thing anyone's ever said to me. Good night, brave girl." Sloane laughed into her pillow. It wasn't a dream. Something real had started. And for the first time in a long time, she wasn't afraid of what came next. By Wednesday, Sloane had convinced herself the rooftop night had been a beautiful illusion, a whiskey-fueled fantasy draped in fairy lights and soft danger. Lauren was too good at staying unreadable, too good at keeping things professional, except for that one look, that one text. But then Lauren happened again. Not in a bar, not over drinks, but in the middle of a department-wide meeting. She walked in wearing that navy blazer Sloane secretly loved, glanced across the room, and smirked. Not a public smirk, a private one. A smirk that said, "I see you. I remember everything." Sloane nearly spilled her coffee. During the meeting, they sat side by side at the end of the conference table. Lauren's thigh brushed hers once, then again. Not accidental. Her fingers tapped a slow rhythm against the table just inches from Sloane's hand. Sloane tried to breathe normally. She failed. "You're glowing," Raina hissed in her ear during a coffee break. "You kissed her, didn't you?" "I didn't." "You did." "I might have, once, barely." "You're chewing your lip like you're trying to remember what hers tasted like." Sloane flushed scarlet. "Raina." "Just saying, it's obvious. And by the way, she's looking at you like she's deciding whether to kiss you again or write poetry about your freckles." "I don't have freckles." "She thinks you do." That afternoon, an email popped into her inbox. Subject: break room coffee. From Lauren Hayes. Time: 3:12 p.m. Message: forget the wrap-up. Come get coffee with me instead. Side cafe. Bring your sarcasm. Sloane read it 3 times before replying. Sloane Bennett. Sarcasm packed. Panic bubbling. See you there. At 3:28, she stood outside the cafe with her heart trying to escape her ribcage. Lauren was already inside, leaning back in a corner seat, one arm slung over the chair, looking like she was waiting for a plot twist. "You came," she said, when Sloane slid into the seat across from her. "You invited me." Lauren shrugged. "Not always the same thing." They both sipped their drinks in silence for a minute. It wasn't awkward. It was charged, the kind of silence that dared someone to speak first. "So," Sloane finally said, "what is this?" Lauren's eyes searched her face. "I've been wondering the same." Sloane blinked. "You don't know?" "I know it's real," Lauren said. "And I know it's complicated." "Because of work?" "Because of everything." Sloane stared down at her coffee. "I'm not used to people like you paying attention to people like me." "What does that mean?" "You're bold. You speak in headlines. I edit footnotes." Lauren smiled gently. "You also edit me. You're the only one who ever pushes back. That's, rare." Sloane looked up. "You want me to push back?" "I want you, period." The words hit her like warm sunlight through a cracked window. Sloane bit her lip. "So what now?" Lauren leaned forward, voice softer now. "Let's make a deal. No pressure, no games. If you feel something, say it. If you want something, ask for it. If you need space, take it." "And if I want you?" Sloane whispered. "Then prove it." They left separately, timed a few minutes apart. Lauren exited first, as casual as ever. Sloane followed, barely breathing. Back at the office, the elevator doors slid open. Sloane stepped in. Alone. Or so she thought. Just before the doors shut, Lauren slipped inside. No one else. Just the low hum of electricity between them. "Say it again," Lauren said. Voice barely above a whisper. Sloane swallowed. "What?" "Say you want me." I want you." "Louder." "I want you," she repeated, a little braver. Lauren stepped closer, close enough to make Sloane's knees go soft. "Say it like you mean it." Sloane's breath shook. "I want you." Lauren's smile turned wicked, but she didn't touch her, didn't lean in, just let the elevator open, stepped out, and tossed over her shoulder. "Good." And Sloane stood there, stunned and pulsing with something that felt a lot like falling. The whispers started that Friday. Sloane noticed them first in the elevator, 2 colleagues who stopped talking the moment she stepped inside. Then in the break room, where Tanya from legal gave her that HR smile. Too tight, too polished, too loaded. Raina confirmed it over lunch. "People are talking," she said, stabbing at a sad salad. "About you and Lauren." Sloane's stomach twisted. "What exactly are they saying?" "That it's unprofessional, that you're getting special treatment, that she's just, toying with you." Sloane stared at her fork. "I earned my place?" "You did," Raina said firmly. "But people don't always care about facts. They care about gossip." By Monday, an email arrived from HR. Subject: friendly reminder. Workplace conduct and reporting structures. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't even specific, but it was enough. Sloane forwarded it to Lauren with a single line, "We need to talk." They met at the little cafe again, but this time, neither of them smiled. "I read it," Lauren said, sitting across from her. "I knew this was coming." "What do we do?" Sloane asked, voice small. Lauren sighed, fingers tightening around her cup. "We're not breaking any rules, but perception is a different beast." Sloane nodded. "I don't want to hide, but I don't want to burn for this either." "You won't burn alone," Lauren said, looking straight at her. "I'll take the heat with you." Sloane smiled faintly. That's a very romantic way to describe probable disciplinary action. Later that day, Sloane sat through meetings like a ghost of herself, second-guessing every smile, every glance, until the all-hands meeting at 4 p.m. "Before we close," Lauren said, cool and calm at the head of the room, "I want to highlight Sloane's work on the Carmichael project. That campaign is landing clients because of her eye for detail and storytelling." Sloane blinked. "She's one of the best strategists on this team," Lauren added, locking eyes with her for just a second. "Her success speaks for itself." After the meeting, Sloane caught up with her in the hallway. "You didn't have to do that," she said quietly. Lauren tilted her head. "Yes, I did." That night, Sloane lay in bed staring at the ceiling, wondering how something so right could feel so risky. She missed Lauren, missed the way she touched her elbow in passing, missed the texts, the stolen smiles, but she also needed space, just for a little while. At 10:13 p.m., she texted, "I love you, but I need to do this part by myself." Lauren responded within minutes, "Okay, I'll be here. Just say when." And she was. She gave Sloane space to breathe. No pressure, no pushing, just quiet support. Encouragement by way of forwarded memes and gentle check-ins. Meanwhile, Sloane worked harder than ever. She pitched bold ideas. She stayed late, not to prove anything to anyone else, but to herself. And people started to notice, not because of Lauren, because of her. Weeks passed. The gossip faded. The stares softened. Respect started replacing speculation. Then one evening, standing in the aisle of a late-night bookstore, Sloane saw something that cracked her open. A woman with wide eyes and a hopeful smile, talking about a poem like it meant something. She didn't know why it made her think of Lauren, but it did. She left the bookstore and walked 3 blocks to Lauren's apartment. Lauren answered the door in sweats, barefaced, hair a little messy. Sloane stepped in, wet from rain, and said it before she could lose her nerve. "I still want you." Lauren's breath hitched. "Are you sure?" "No," Sloane said honestly, "but I'm brave enough to try." Lauren pulled her in without another word. That night, they didn't hold back. They didn't define anything. They didn't label it. They just loved each other. With hands, mouths, quiet gasps, and long silences where their bodies said everything they didn't know how to put into words. In the morning, Sloane lay curled into Lauren's chest and whispered, "Do you ever think this would have happened if I hadn't gotten drunk?" Lauren smiled into her hair. "I would have waited forever, but I'm glad you didn't make me." They didn't make a big announcement. They didn't need to. They just kept showing up. For each other, for their work, for themselves. HR stopped caring. The office stopped whispering. And Sloane, she stopped hiding. They didn't get a fairy tale. They didn't need one. They built something better, something real. Every morning, Sloane walked into the office like she belonged there. Every night she went home to the woman who once scared the hell out of her. And on quiet weekends, they sat on their tiny balcony sipping coffee, building a garden out of nothing but pots, sunlight, and the sheer audacity to try. They weren't supposed to fall, but they did. and neither of them ever let go.